Hello, myself Ashok Kama, working as a lecturer in Automobile Engineering Department at BLDA's SSM Polytechnic Vijaypur. I am going to handle a subject Automobile Transmission and Control System. The code of the subject is 158032T. Now, the first unit is chassis frame, which requires 3 hours, and in a SSC semester end examination we are going to have 10 marks on this particular chapter. Now, in this chapter we will study purpose of the frame, loads acting on frame, types of frame, construction and ladder type of frame, sections of frames, materials used in frames, need of subframe, advantages of subframe. Now, let us see the purpose of frame. Purpose means nothing but the function of the frame, why the frame is needed. Number 1 is to support the chassis components and the body. Second one, to withstand static and dynamic loads without undue deflection or distortion. Now, to support the components whatever fitted on the body, the frame will play a very important role. Second one, it has to withstand the dynamic and static loads whatever coming on the chassis frame without undue deflection or distortion. Next, loads acting on the frame. Now, whatever the forces coming on the frame that we are going to see now. Number 1 is weight of the vehicle and passengers. Second one is vertical loads when the vehicle comes across bump or a hollow. Third one is loads due to road camber, side wind, cornering force while taking a turn. Third one is load due to wheel impact with road obstacles. Fifth one is engine torque and braking torque. Last one is sudden impact loads during collision. Now, the first one is the weight of the vehicle and passengers. Whatever the passengers are inside the vehicle, their load and the weight of the vehicle comes directly on the frame. Second one is the vehicle loads when the vehicle comes across a bump or a hollow. So, the vertical loads, whatever the vertical loads are, comes on the frame during taking a bump or a hollow. Next one, loads due to road camber, side wind, cornering force while taking a turn. When vehicle is turning, at that time there are some loads which will act on the frame. Those are road camber, side wind, cornering forces. That loads also be taken by the frame. Now, when the wheel comes across an obstacles, then the load will come on the frame, that is called wheel impact. Now, when you apply the braking and sudden acceleration, the engine torque, the forces will come on the frame. Next, we go on to the types of frames. Basically, there are 2 types of frames in use. One is conventional frame, another one is frameless or unitary frame. In a conventional frame, again is classified into 2 types. One is ladder, another one is X member. This is the figure of the construction of ladder type frame. So, here we can see that there are 2 members, one is side members, another one is the cross members. A simplified diagram as already we have seen now the frame. In that there are 2 members, one is side members, another one is a cross member. The frame is offset at the rear and front to accommodate the movement of the axle due to spring. As already seen in the figure, the frame is at the front, it is offset. Why it is made means it is to accommodate or to make the movement of the axles. Next one, it also keeps the chassis height low. That offset at the rear makes the chassis height very low. Now, the frame is narrowed down at the front to have better steering lock. See, for having better steering at the front side, the frame is made narrowed. This is the construction of the ladder type frame. Now, sections whatever we use in the frame constructions are channel section, box section, eye section and tubular section. Why we use the channel section? They are good resistance for the bending, and that is why we are using these channel sections for the side members. Box sections are also good resistance for twisting or torsion and is formed by welding a plate to a channel. Next, I section, these are good resistance bending loads. So at the side members or in cross members, sometimes we use I sections also. Tubular sections are we are using for the resistance of the torsions, are used in two-wheeler and three-wheeler. Materials used for the frame. Now, three grades of mild steels are being used for pressed steel. One is low carbon steel, another one is a steel with slightly higher carbon, last one is the alloy steel, which we are going to call it as nickel chrome. So in low carbon, it is nothing but 0.18 or 0.2% carbon content, or in slightly higher carbon content second one, we are having about 0.25% of the carbon. These are the materials which we are using for the construction of the frame. Now, what is the need of a subframe? Normally, the various components are bolted directly to the main frame, but many a time these components are mounted on a separate frame called a subframe. So, what do you mean by subframe? Subframe is nothing but a separate frame which we are mounted to the main frame. So, these are called subframes. Now, this subframe is further supported by main frame at 3 points. In this way, the components are isolated from the effects of twisting and flexing of the main frame. So, this is fitted to the main frame at 3 points. Why it is maintained means it is to isolate the components, the effects whatever coming on the main frame. By fitting this, we can isolate it. Okay. We will move to the next frame. Advantages of subframe. The mass of the subframe alone help to damp the vibrations. Second one is the provisions of subframe simplifies production on the assembly line. Third one facilitates subsequent overhaul or repair. Next and last one is any changes or alterations can be made by using the subframe. The mass of the subframe alone helps to damp the vibrations. Whatever we are fitting the subframe to the main frame, which will help in damping the vibrations which coming on to the main frame. Second one, the provisions of subframe simplifies production assembly line. It will simplifies the production and assembly line. Now, for overhauling also it will help. Now, the last one, you can change or I can make the alterations in the main frame by using the subframe. Thank you. If you have any questions or any queries, you can ask me by giving your suggestions or questions in WhatsApp. Thank you.